This May, celebrate the tapestry of Asian American Heritage Month.
It's the News of the Week, Tuesday edition, with your anchorman, Dennis Miller.
Good night. Hey, look at the code on the monitor. It's doing that weird thing that check codes do on TV. See it? Psychedelic, man. One pill makes you happy. One pill makes you smile. Go ask Dennis. Good evening, and what can I tell you? 3 jurors from the Rodney King trial finally made their identities public this week. And police got rough with Cat Stevens when he refused to sing Peace Train at a San Francisco coffee house this week. Sean Penn looked rugged and intense this week as he denied allegations that he stole Madonna's bustier from Fredericks of Hollywood. Jerry Brown has changed his slogan from Take Back America to Take Back This Sports Coat. George Bush this week showed what a strong and mighty leader he is when he thrilled the press by snatching a fly out of the air and shaking it till it had no idea where the hell it was. Help me, I'm dizzy. Bush, the law and order president, lent a hand in riot-torn Los Angeles last week when he beamed an arsonist with a golf ball. Later that day, the president presented African-American leaders a big ball of hot air. Dan Quayle said that we in America should give people a hand up instead of a handout. Of course, his words were slurred by the silver spoon in his mouth at the time he said it. George Bush and the Democrats seem to be uniting in an effort to create urban enterprise zones. Bush said the inner city zones are called enterprise because the federal government will beam down some funds, check out their tricorders for results, and then eventually phaser out the program, leaving the residents stunned. Bush later announced his own 3-point plan to improve our urban areas. He will promote economic growth in our cities, encourage home ownership, and resign. The search continues for President Bush's domestic policy this week. Always the practical joker, President Bush raced up the steps of Air Force One and locked the door before Jack Kemp could get on the plane. He refused to let him in until Kemp said, "I am a stupid fathead and George Bush is the greatest president ever." Mikhail Gorbachev spoke at Westminster College over the weekend. Here he is seen playfully signing in under the name Dick Hertz. Mayor David Dinkins gave Mikhail Gorbachev the keys to the city of New York last week. Gorbachev was surprised to find out that he had been given the actual keys along with a note that read, "I give up. You run it for a while." Retired Russian Colonel Vladimir Markin and his grandson Artem took a leisurely stroll along the Manza Square this week. There were no incidents, but 2 were often mistaken for George Bush and Dan Quayle. Mideast peace talks were on again in Washington with Israel publicly hoping for a few empty seats at the talks. The Palestinian delegation disagreed with the Israelis, hoping for a few vacant seats. And the peace talks broke off and were postponed. I don't know how the hell I looked at that earlier this afternoon and thought it might vaguely work. Oh, man. Just to improve our personal zen, I'm going to do it again. Mideast peace talks were on again in Washington with Israel publicly hoping for a few empty seats at the talks. The Palestinian delegation disagreed with the Israelis, hoping for a few vacant seats. And the peace talks broke off and were postponed. Damn it, I'll do it again. Even in Afghanistan, everyone appreciates the classic beauty of a woman dressed in a tarp. Year after year, nothing beats the down-home goodness of chicken and rice, Waldorf. A regal dollop of poultry's tenderest shank, ensconced in a bed of sinfully long grains and garnished with the ruby-red invitation of a hothouse tomato. And if you're lucky, you'll chase it down with the enigma that is jalapeno ice cream. Every morsel taunts you with its contradiction. The Norman Rockwell sweetness of vanilla, the bad part of town retaliation of jalapeno. Arriba! That's good eating food. Well, Dick Hertz and his wife were in California this week. Here we see them as they root through some trash looking for some, quote, nice Western junk. I told you, he said, go right at the dock. And finally, two of Japan's top sumo wrestlers hurriedly finished their match when they realized it was Tuesday, which is all-you-can-eat shrimp night at the Sizzler. But remember, fellows, no shoes, no shirt, horrendous wedgie, no service. Guess what, folks? That's the news, and I am out of here.
From Los Angeles, live on tape, it's the Dennis Miller Show. Tonight, actress Helen Hunt, musical guest Tori Amos, actor Bill Paxton, and comedian Barry Crimmins. This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Dawn Dishwashing Liquid. It takes grease out of your way.
Mommy says to clean in proper order. Glasses, silverware, dishes, then pans.
Pork grease. Ew.
Mommy never says you, Daddy.
Because Dawn cleans the greasiest grease. Dawn breaks it up and takes it away.
Oh, no, we forgot a glass and the water's all greasy.
What are we gonna do? Let's do what Mommy would do. See? The glass isn't greasy. Neither are my hands.
It goes there.
I thought your mother was tough.
Dawn takes grease out of your way.
Let the games begin.
Play the Bud Summer Games. Look for details wherever you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, or Bud Dry. You could win $1 million in gold.
With VCR Plus, anyone can program their VCR in one easy step. Just punch in the Plus code numbers from your TV listing. VCR Plus sets your VCR and cable box for you, so you'll never have to miss your favorite shows.
What in the world's that hen up to now? I don't know what you're doing with that bowling ball.
Hey, Angelo, congratulations.
For what?
We're selling your fine pastas and sauces in the supermarket. You know, DiGiorno pastas and sauces.
Ah, DiGiorno. Like last night. We had tortellini with Alfredo. Just like here. But at home.
Say, I didn't know your last name was DiGiorno.
Neither did I.
For restaurant taste at your place, DiGiorno.
And now try DiGiorno shredded Parmesan for a fresh taste you just can't can.
with a nice light cotton t-shirt tonight because I'm telling you, folks, it is a looser, funkier Shamu this year at SeaWorld. When I come up out of the water with a Peloponnesian sponge diver boy on my snout, you're gonna see some funky Bob Fosse moves with the fins. All right, I gotta quit swearing on the show. I get letters, everybody's cranky. Well, I always think when I swear here, they just bleep it out, and everybody at home will just hear bleep. And I figure, how could that bug them, a bleep? But they get cranky because they read into it, and people are angry. So I got to break myself. I'm not doing it to show off. It just seems like TV is such a sanctimonious place that we should just talk the way we talk, and I swear once in a while. But I'm going to quit it. And Nick, I've enlisted Nick to help me with a little Pavlovian inducement.
Yes, a little
My least favorite fragrance in the world is Brute. So you got one of these new squirt guns filled with Brute.
Gun, baby. Every time you swear, I'm going to pelt you with that beloved fragrance.
I want you to zap me with the squirt gun, and then I'll
right.
smell like Brute, and it'll remind me to quit swearing. Life is a Skinner box. Go ahead, take a shot at my head, man.
All right, you ready? Let me put on my special.
This won't hurt, will it?
No, you'll just get doused.
Look at this.
I got you in my sights, man. Let me just stoke it up a little bit.
Don't aim for the optic nerve or anything.
No problem. I'll avoid your ulnar.
Desexify me. Oh.
Yeah!
Okay, stop it. All right. Oh, see, now I smell like Brute and I won't swear.
All right. In the words of Mickey Mantle in his old spots for it, Brute by Fabergé.
All right. You know, it's the summer. Do I have any other business I have to attend to here? I wrote all this down because I couldn't remember it. Oh, Johnny Carson's last night. Everybody's taken off. Very selfless gesture.
Yes.
We're staying on. We're going to be the loyal. We're going to be the. Well, I want you to understand. I want you to understand that on his last. Wait, you got to listen. You got to hear me out. I'm a big fan of Carson. I figure 30 years in, his last night, it's nice to take off, but he's going to kill you even if you're on or off. I mean, everybody in the world's going to be watching it. So I'm here for you, Johnny, the loyal opposition. On your last night, you should kick the opposition's ass, and I'm going to be here for you, baby, okay? You missed! He already blew it! I snuck one in! Get out of here.
You will learn.
Take the point. Little John. Okay. Oh, and Andre Agassi with a rag around his head. I think we got an Andre Agassi bald watch going here, folks, huh? He wears that thing around his head. I'm thinking we got
He's waiting
baldness.
to see if the plugs take.
All righty. Hey, this goes bang any further, I'm going to have you fill that up with minoxidil. Okay, with summer fast approaching, many Americans will find themselves thinking of taking time off for a well-deserved vacation. But the best laid plans of mice and men are not without their pitfalls. And so tonight, we present the case for and the case against going on vacation. The case for going on vacation, God, it's great to get away from it all. Against, when you come back, it's gone. The case for a sporty rental car. Against, Marxist revolutionaries torch it just hours after you waive the insurance policy. The case for, you can buy exotic trinkets in foreign lands. Against, after customs discovers the booty you brought is filled with heroin, you submit to a body cavity search. The case for, a margarita in one hand, Jimmy Buffett on the radio, you just kick back and work on your tan. Against, keep it up and you'll be wasting away in Melanomaville. Case for, a car trip lets you have a long talk with the kids. Against, all they want to do is count roadkill. The case for, a chance to see exotic places. Against, all you really want to do is watch TV and you're pissed they don't get Montel Williams in Machu Picchu. Oh, no, that was a tough call. I said a word. I don't know. Is that swearing?
What word did you say?
Montel. Okay, No, don't freak me out here. Dr. Grassy Knoll over here. You know, even a budget hotel has a staff that is always there to help you. Against, unable to hear you behind the bulletproof glass, you are forced to act out, I need a tourniquet. The case for, it's fun to frolic on exotic nude beaches. Against, the third-degree sunburn makes your funky look like a summer squash. Thank you, yeah. What? Are you just cranky or are you not? You're not going to hurt me, are you? I heard somebody screaming. I always get freaked because they might have a squirt gun. Okay, the case 4, you can taste unusual foods. Against, never have you been more aware of your sphincter muscle. And finally, the case 4, going on vacation. What could be more exciting than romance in an exotic place? Against the incredibly convincing she-males of Bangkok. And that's the case 4 and against. Okay. Oh, last thing, I forgot. I knew I had something else. We make jokes about the cops on here when they beat the guy up in the tape and that, but we don't want to make it like all cops are bad. Today, through great police work, they arrested the 4 kids who stomped the trucker in downtown LA. So let's give the cops a hand. Yeah. Cops, man. Tough gig, that cop thing, man. Thank you, boys. My first guest is here to talk to us about her latest film, The Water Dance. Please welcome Helen Hunt, folks. Helen! Thanks, Helen.
It's sort of like having an exam, I realize.
All right, I know. Now, Nick, it's all off when we have guests here, okay?
But as soon as she's gone, your therapy will begin again.
All right, Nick, my personal water dominatrix. Okay, hey, now tell us about Water Dance. Got some good people, and we got Eric Stoltz, Wesley Snipes, William Forsythe. Well, I read about it, but tell the people what it's about.
It's written and directed by Neil Jimenez, who wrote The River's Edge, and it's about a novelist who, before the film starts, has an accident which leaves him a paraplegic, and it's about his experience in this rehab hospital. And Neil Jimenez, who wrote, did I say he wrote
The River's Edge? Yeah.
Actually fell and is in a wheelchair, and so it's semi-autobiographical.
Yeah, but I would imagine a person who helmed the project being in a wheelchair, we wouldn't have a saccharinized version of it, but rather a realistic version.
I think so. It's one of the most beautiful things I had ever read. I wanted to be in it like a year before there was even any financing, so I feel like I want to knock on all the wood on your set.
Well, that's
and there's a lot of it.
Eons. Now tell me, you play one of the... you have an interesting dilemma for your character.
I play a married woman who was having an affair with him before this happened and was maybe about to leave her husband, and now this has happened, and how can they be together, and what can they do?
Life comes right up and smacks her
in the face.
Right in the face.
Yeah.
We got to take a break? Okay, I'm sorry. I ran a little over. We'll be right back with Helen Hunt. We'll talk more about the Water Dance right after this, folks.
US 99, specializing in today's hot new country sound.
US 99.
US 99.
And the lightning strike.
Giving you a chance to win cash with the $1,000 Song of the Day. Weekday mornings at 7:15. All this great hot new country is on US 99 right now. Tune your FM now to 99.5.
US 99.
The rumor has been confirmed. Summer has been given one less day on the calendar this year. There'll be one less afternoon to race down a hill. To go nowhere in particular. To relax with a pitcher of Country Time lemonade flavored drink mix with a taste of good old-fashioned lemonade. And though summer is one day shorter, we trust you'll make the most of it.
Morning! What's for breakfast in modern times?
Oh, just cereal.
Back in my century, we enjoyed grains kept whole for a more natural, hearty taste.
New great grains.
You bet it's great. Toasted wheat, oats, and barley. Kept whole, full of flavor.
Great. Dates, raisins, even pecans. This really is delicious.
Now I'm hungry. Got another bowl?
What was great back then is great grains now. A great new cereal from Post.
Now I never have to worry again. When I need advice, I call Psychic Friends, day or night, to get the answers I need. It's having my own live personal psychic advisor. We talk about all the important issues in my life. money, career, even love and relationships. You too can call to find out how to get the answers you need by calling 800-422-2222 to find out how to speak directly to a live psychic astrologer. Call now. It's a free information call.
I always feel so bad when they give you people the wrong applause cue and you're applauding halfway through and then it stops and where's the damn show? And then they make you applaud again. It's like a big galley ship in Ben-Hur. All right, now we got a little clip from this thing, right? Water
I
dance?
just want to say having him there sort of makes me want to swear. I
Oh,
won't, but
no,
it sort of is having the reverse.
It's the self-destructive
No, and I won't.
Go ahead, pretty lady.
Look at this. You're like Andy Robinson and Dirty Harry, you know? Go ahead, beat me. Give me $80 worth. Okay. Well, set up. You want to tell us about the clip, or
Yes,
it's self-explanatory?
The major dilemma that this couple faces is obviously how can they be lovers after this has happened, and they find a way in this hospital bed behind a curtain, and the rest of the patients in the ward and those who are visiting them notice because they hear it. And this is right after that, and I think this clip is a nurse has a little chat with me about my behavior. I think that's what this is.
We understand the patient's need for sex therapy, but on the ward, well, the other patients tend to feel left out.
Of course.
Then there's something about insurance which even I can't figure out. If it were up to me, I'd change the rules.
I understand your dilemma.
I'm sorry to embarrass you. We all have our needs.
No, it's, I mean, yes.
Middle button.
Oh, well, that's a funny clip. Yeah. I love you trying to adhere to hospital policy and your post-orgasmic blur there.
That's the idea. That's whatever you say.
Well, you did it well.
Thank you very much.
Now, hey, you know what you were great in is that movie. I don't even know what the title of it was, but it was on TV. And, no, it was a great flick. I remember every title over here, but where you played the woman who dated the kid in high school and made him kill for her?
Oh, right.
Oh, boy, that
I
was
know.
spooky.
Don't
what was her
cross
name?
me. Her name is Pam Smart.
Yeah, she was a creepy dame, huh?
yeah.
Where's she stand now? Was she in the...
She stands in prison, and I mean no harm. I never met her, and...
Oh, no, she's probably great. Pam, we don't mean to say anything by the fact you ordered her boyfriend to kill somebody. I'm not casting aspersions your way. Come on.
I'm like the wimpiest actress in the world. What can I tell you? I called upon my evilest self.
Yeah. Well, you were great in
the best
it.
I could.
Now,
Thank
you just did Mr. Saturday Night with Billy.
Yeah.
Is it finished?
Yeah, it's finished, and I bet you'll like it.
Billy
Anybody who's
Crystal,
funny.
sorry.
It's
What's
Billy Crystal.
What's the premise here? It's Billy throughout his life as a comic or
It's
something?
this character that he did on Saturday Night Live, where he played Buddy Young Jr., who's
Yeah.
the 75-year-old Borscht Belt comic, and I play a young Shiksa agent who is assigned to take care of him, and he is going to sort of ruffle her feathers and make sure she knows about the roots of comedy. And my first scene is in the Friars Club, where he's sitting with Slappy White.
Perfect, the
and
temple of...
Carl Ballantyne and Jerry Lewis,
Mhm.
who said to me, I said, I just want to say at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan, I'm thrilled to meet you. And he said, and I love your work. Now,
Very
it's
nice.
very nice, but like, is he watching the Pam Smart movie at home? I can't picture it
You
somehow.
can't question him. You can just say, God, you've got a lot of product in your hair, Jerry. Yeah. And you know who Carl Ballantyne was, of course. Lester Gruber, McHale's Navy, run the floating crap game on Terratuba, moved it into New Caledonia when Skip was onto him. Okay, all right, Helen, it's called Water Dance. We got Mr. Saturday Night coming up. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
All
you.
right, Helen Hunt, folks. We're right back with Tori Amos. Right after this.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
I had no idea Alaska was so far away. Coming from Tennessee, it's up there. I went there to check on a new Saturn, fix a little problem with our seat recliner. Since Robin Millage was 2,500 miles from our nearest retailer, we went to her. Didn't take long, and she was back in business, and I was on my way home. I tell folks Alaska's a great place, though I'd recommend staying more than a day.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. I dream I move. I dream I groove.
Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like
Ooh, I bet you kids would like some of these new Butterfinger ice cream nuggets.
They sure would have.
Would have.
No! Crispity, crunchity outside, creamy ice cream inside.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
You were here. She has the traveler's checks here. Nah, that's no good. But this is new American Express traveler's checks for 2. The first checks either of you can use. Don't leave home without them.
Costly engine wear occurs when you first start your car because even the best motor oils and additives are down in the oil pan. Slick 50 protects your engine at startup. It treats the engine, not the oil. Independent lab tests showed Slick 50 reduced engine wear by 50% for 50,000 miles. Since 1978, over 15 million people worldwide have used Slick 50. Starting your engine without it is a terrible thing to do.
If your life seems to be falling apart and you don't know where to turn, call Crisis Line at 1-800-866-9600. Help is on the line.
Buy now, pay later. That's the American way. It's so easy to become overextended. If you are in financial trouble, you ought to know about Chapter 13, a government program that stops all collection activity and provides consumers or small businesses up to 5 years to pay, generally without interest or service charges. If you would like to know whether Chapter 13 or bankruptcy can help you, there's no charge for the initial consultation.
Andriana Furs. Andriana Furs. Andriana Furs. It's the only thing I'll wear.
A killer without a conscience.
I'll kill you too.
A cop without proof.
I've got to catch his killer.
A cop who won't give up.
We have got to get a second search warrant.
The one cop who will stop at nothing.
What about Gacy? What's he gonna do?
To stop John Wayne Gacy.
He won't find a thing.
A true story.
Made me dig some holes down there.
A world television premiere.
I don't want that man free to hurt anyone.
Brian Dennehy, Michael Riley, To Catch a Killer.
Monday night at 7.
It takes a lot of guts to tell someone he's too drunk to drive. But you can do it. Just say it. Because if you don't, there may be nothing left to say.
Kevin, I'm gonna drive.
Take the keys, call a cab, take a stand. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Where's the audience? Did I hear it warm up? Did you guys? Is the audience from the Universal Studio Tours today? Wow, big day. Afternoon. See the show at night. Afternoon, they talk to Kit, the Road Ranger car. I saw him recently at the Mark Taper. He, you know, the car from Road Ranger.
Kit the talking car from Knight
He's
Rider?
doing a little thing called a Trans Am named Desire, and he blew me away. All right, my next guest is a singer. Was that loud?
Huh?
I had this so loud. I feel like Alan Freed. Good evening, Teen Angel. My next guest is a singer-songwriter who has been playing music for 26 over 28 years. Here to perform silent all these years, please welcome Tori Amos, folks. Tori.
Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. I've got a special offer on out-of-print collector baseball cards. Now you can own 200 genuine collectible baseball cards for the unbelievable price of $9.95. It's a collector's dream come true. Each set contains baseball cards going as far back as 1986 and including Topps, Donruss, and Upper Deck that are no longer being printed. Over the years, the value of baseball cards has skyrocketed, and while no one can guarantee baseball cards will go up in value, we can guarantee each set will have star, superstar, rookie, and all-star cards. So take it from me, Mel Allen, at this price, these cards could be gone. 200 genuine collectible baseball cards, no duplicates, mint condition, only $9.95 each, plus $2.95 postage, limit of 5 per household. So get cracking. Call now to order.
After talking to the psychic astrologer for only a few minutes, I knew she had a gift to understand my problems and an even greater ability to give me the answers I'd been searching for, but never found until I called the psychic friend. Their gifted psychics will share their extraordinary abilities with you in the privacy of your home or workplace. If you want to find out how to get the answers to personal, financial, love, or relationship questions, call 800-422-2222, a free information call.
It all began in 1964, and 28 years later, here we grow again. Save thousands during Tom Raper's 28th anniversary sale on new and used motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, tent campers, truck campers, cargo trailers, truck caps, mobile homes, and sectional homes. Nobody beats Tom Raper's deal. Not now, not ever. I-70 exit 149A, Richmond, Indiana. Call free 1-800-RAPER-RV. 28th anniversary sale.
Save today, Tom Raper's way.
Open till 8, close Sunday.
Saved it up. See? If we don't abuse the applause privilege, they're glad to oblige. You just can't go to the whip too often. All right. Hey, Tori Amos, is she a killer or what, huh? Whoa! She's going to come back a little later, sing Crucified. They're both on this Little Earthquakes album. It seems like a monster. I got to get this. And speaking of CDs, Kill the Messenger by our next guest, Barry Crimmins. Many people find that our monologue on this show nightly is somewhat controversial at times. We've gotten a lot of angry calls from viewers who feel that their values have been mercilessly attacked. My next guest writes many of those jokes. Please welcome political satirist and a writer on this show, Barry Crimmins. Barry! Nice, Barry, beautiful.
The traditional sock salute to the boss. Quakes, floods, blind juries, riots, Ross Perot. When's the toad and locust season coming? Speaking of Ross Perot, I recently sustained a head injury. So I've been listening to quite a bit of talk radio. There's some amazing things on talk radio. Jerry, I'm sick and tired of turning on the television and seeing all these lesbians who want abortions. A huge pro-choice rally in Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago. They estimated the crowd on Sunday at 500,000. Then they revised the estimate to 250,000 a couple days later. Turns out they made a mathematical error. They were counting each American woman as a whole person. They're going to try and make up for it, though. They're trying to kind of get connected with the women. They're going to issue the Susan B. Anthony dollar. Didn't work too well. People were getting a little upset. They were paying $3 for a Coca-Cola by mistake all the time. So they're going to try again. What they're going to do is they're going to issue a Susan B. Anthony 70-cent piece. This way we'll have something to pay women with. Oh, we have a presidential election coming up, and of course the big problem is somebody will win. If you think about the whole process of running for president, what kind of weirdo would do that in the first place? You know, I've looked at this whole world and there's one glaring problem. I'm not in charge. So what do we got now? The Democrats are, of course, I'd like to say something about the Democrats, if there was something to say. We got Ross Perot, the revolutionary candidate. Remember when revolutions used to be started by poor people? Ross Perot, the man who brought us the rescue mission of the hostages in Iran. Remember that when we went out in the desert and attacked ourselves with helicopters? We'll show them the kind of damage America can do. First, we'll start off with this intramural thing. Let me give you some perspective on Ross Perot. Here's a man that Nixon wouldn't take a bribe from. Nixon is like herpes. You think he's gone. So now we have George Bush as the president. It's kind of a slogan here. When you're in the hot seat and your hand's on the stick, making the close calls, I before E, except after C. I'm in favor of more good things and less bad things. What courage. He always shows up at the disasters. He came to the San Francisco earthquake, remember that? Wow, a lot of stuff fell, huh? It was up here, now it's down there. And leave it to George Bush to come to Los Angeles last week and turn the riots into some sort of group therapy session where he gets to vent all his frustration about damage to his summer home. The veranda is completely gone. I gotta go, President Bush. My child's on fire. A lot of looting going on. Looting, I don't know, looting. I was wondering, was slavery looting? It was just a question that I had. Was there any broken glass in Africa 400 years ago? I don't know. Anyway, it was nice to see Rodney King, an African-American, actually get a chance to do his own Gettysburg Address. It was like, name that tune. He did it in less words than Lincoln. Ding, ding! You know. And he mentioned the environment. All right, Rodney! Yeah, Rodney King. They say justice is blind, and turns out they're right. Sometimes people get mad at me. They say, if you don't love this country, mister, why don't you get out of it? I say, because I don't want to be victimized by its foreign policy. But you know, it's just not the poor who suffer in America. The rich do too. Right here in Hollywood, we have a lot of problems. Every day I pick up the paper and see these tragic stories about famous agents, actors, rock and roll stars who are found floating nude, face up, in their pools. We must compassionately gather as a society and flip these people over. Thank you very much.
Barry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barry. You make Jack Reed look like Michael Milken. All right. We'll be right back with Bill Paxton right after this, folks. Yeah.
For tires, there's only one name I look up to.
America's #1 name in tires.
And there's one tire store that I trust.
Is now at America's #1 tire store. Goodyear comes to Sears, and all Goodyear Eagles at Sears are on sale. Save up to 25%.
What could be more American? Goodyear at Sears.
All Eagles now on sale at Sears, America's #1 tire store.
You can count on me. Who's gonna back you better than Sears?
Taste of Bullseye tastes the best.
With VCR Plus, anyone can program their VCR in one easy step.
Just punch in the plus code numbers from your TV listing. VCR Plus sets your VCR and cable box for you, so you'll never have to miss your favorite shows.
What in the world's that hen up to now? I don't know what you're doing with that bowling ball.
With all the germs in my daycare center, I wash hands all day. Thank goodness for new Liquid Safeguard with moisturizer.
I must wash my hands 20 times a day. Liquid Safeguard's amazing. It kills germs without killing my skin.
Washing my hands so often made them feel like scrub brushes. But Liquid Safeguard looks soft, and it helps my hands feel soft.
Liquid Safeguard kills germs without killing your skin.
The more I use it, the more I love it.
That old car is worth money. Call Victory Auto Wreckers at 860-2000 for a quote. Victory will buy no matter what condition your car is in. Victory will tow it away free and you'll get cash on the spot. Or save money by fixing up your car with used parts. Victory has 7 acres of used parts. Starters, transmissions, batteries for all types of cars. Victory Auto Wreckers, 710 East Green in Bensonville near O'Hare. 860-2000.
Have you ever created or invented a product? Don't just let it sit there. Do something about it. You can start by calling the Inventors Helpline in Washington, D.C. at 800-227-7000. You'll receive free confidential forms and useful information describing the invention process. And when you call right now, you'll also receive a free brochure which tells you how to begin to develop your new idea. So get the ball rolling. Pick up your phone right now and call for your free Inventor's Kit.
Call 800-227-7000.
You want baseball action and you're looking for the best. Well, the Southside team is winning in the West. They got 9-drive homers, collisions at the plates, leading comebacks. Man, these guys are great. Don't miss all the action, but miss a great time when you're looking for the winners. Find your Sox on 9.
The Sox outslug the Brewers Wednesday afternoon at 1:30.
Sound good tonight, Goldie. Guys are jamming. Let's get the twister board out. Go Freakazoid. Tomorrow night, my guest will be Melissa Gilbert-Brinkman.
Yes.
Married to Bo Brinkman. Patricia Calimbert-Brinkman. Wild Willie Parsons-Brinkman. And Dr. Charles Crenshaw-Brinkman. Crenshaw, of course, is the man who was in the emergency room at Parkland Hospital when they brought both Jack Kennedy Brinkman and Lee Harvey Oswald Brinkman into the... I think I'm on the Brinkmanship with this bit. My next guest has received a royal 2 thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert. Wow, life is complete for the fat guy and the other one. For his portrayal of Dale Hurricane Dixon in the new movie One False Move. Please welcome Bill Paxton, folks. Billy. Man, you broke out the Lizard King Chinos for me, baby.
Somebody take my blood pressure. Oh, man.
Hey, now those
living large. Yeah, I got them today.
I hear there's a weird story behind the boots. Lay it on me.
Well,
Yeah.
That's for Bunny.
Oh, we got the boot cam out. Yeah. Dingoes or what? What's the story?
Bunny.
Why'd you have to get new boots?
Well, I've got one of these little cars, these Miatas. I was like the first guy to get one of these cars, and
Little Fisher-Price car.
Exactly. Reminiscent of my childhood. But I bought this car. I was the first guy to have one of these cars in L.A. I saw one time. I was with Bunny. We saw one on the freeway. I got to have this car. So I got one. I paid like $10,000 extra so I could have the car. Within a year, everybody's full. At first everybody's going, hey, wow, where did you get it? It's great. It's a throwback to the 60s, all this stuff. you know, a year later, everybody pulls up and they know it doesn't have a top end speed worth a damn. Everybody pulls up and goes, see ya later, you know, and oops.
Was that the
Hit me
finger?
with the broom gun. Oh, God.
All right, Nick.
Very naughty.
God. So anyway, I get back to LAX the other day. I was out of town, and of course the thing doesn't start. But I started thinking, well, Christ, I had a motorcycle that was heavier than this car. I'll push start it, you know. So as I was push starting it, somehow I managed to run over my shoe as I was pushing the car, and it completely ruined my boots. So
you had to run out and get new boots.
I had to go get some new boots. So another funny thing happened with the car.
Yeah.
The battery was going out, obviously, because
Right.
I'm having to push start the thing. So I take it to the shop. They change the battery. They call me up and say, hey, we can only get this battery in Japan. Well, that figures. So they put the thing in. When I get it, you know, these stereos have this anti-theft system.
Right.
And you have to punch in some code. Well, hell, I bought the car 3 years ago, so I couldn't remember the code to save my ass. So, oops. Oh, God, hit me. Oh.
Nicky, you got to get more
Full
pump
loads.
over there.
God, you got full loads in that guy.
Gotta stoke it up.
All right. Now, don't swear. I got to get this story, and I want to talk about the movie.
God, I don't know where I am.
Forget the Mazda story. Tell me about this. I want to get to this movie. What is One False Move?
One False Move. God,
Give me a brief synopsis here.
Killers on the run. Head for this little town in Arkansas. There's a girl who's traveling with him. She's traveling under an alias. Halfway through the film, it turns out she's a girl from the town. I'm the local sheriff of the town. It turns out we had a little bit of a
fling,
tete-a-tete, or whatever you might say, and we've got a child in the town. Well, I don't want to give too much away. I just told the whole plot. But
but go see it anyway, because it looks neat when they do it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's see a clip from this. It says clip is a must, and I don't want you to kick me with that new boot. So show the clip here. Owls.
Christian people. I can't believe she got mixed up in this.
Hurricane, I'm still unclear how you know this Lila Walker.
Well, sir, I arrested her for shoplifting once. She was just a kid in high school. All she took was some lipstick and, you know, on their eyes. Wasn't worth $10. I could tell right off she wasn't bad, just sort of high-spirited. So I decided to try to help her out, you know, talk to her. Then one day she just up and disappeared. Somebody said she'd decided to take off for Hollywood, become a movie star. Anyway, that was about, 5 years ago. That's the last I heard of her till now.
Wow. Hey, did you see? Did you see? I want to tell you, this is how comprehensive my plan is. He swore in the clip. You see how wet the window was? That was Nick squirting, literally, in the clip. All right, Billy, we got off on that Mazda story from hell, but it looks like a good flick. It's One False Move, and Bill Paxton, folks. Go see it. We'll be right back. Thank you, Will. Bye-bye.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Hyundai, makers of the Excel, Scoop, Sonata, and the brand new Elantra.
Hey, it's never too late to check this out. The Scoop, a sporty coupe that's fun to drive. And since you get free service and maintenance, it's also fun to own. So any sleepless nights won't be from worry. The Scoop from Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai.
For a $750 rebate on Scoop, see your Hyundai dealer now, before it's too late.
Introducing reformulated Neat Hair Remover. New pleasant fragrances. New patented one-step roll-on. New pleasant smelling Neat leaves legs so soft and smooth, rich with moisturizers. No one can resist touching them, not even you. The touchable feeling of Neat.
If something is troubling you and you don't know where to turn, call Crisis Line at 1-800-866-9600. Help is on the line.
If
you own a home and you need some dough, call 775-1010. Say goodbye to financial woes, call 775-1010. Got a home? Need some dough? Call 775-1010.
Andriana Furs. Andriana Furs. It's the only thing I'll wear.
I'd like to thank my guests, Helen Hunt, Barry Crimmins, Bill Paxton. This is Tori's new album, Little Earthquakes. And this is the new single, Crucify. Tori Amos. Good night, teenagers. Tori.
When in Los Angeles, guests of the Dennis Miller Show stay at the St. James Club and Hotel.